Hey there. Well, this week's teaching video for Mystics Academy is exciting. We're kicking off our year here on the Witches' New Year, which is also known as Samhain. That's how I pronounce it. It can be pronounced in other ways as well, depending on your accent, I guess is a nice way to say it. So when I've heard it said all sorts of ways, and most people spell it what looks like Samhain, right? Okay, but it's actually a word that comes from Celtic and Irish background. Samhain, the word comes from there, and it actually refers to Halloween, or the time that we now call Halloween. It's a time of year. It's an ancient Celtic festival. It's really a spiritually significant um uh, time of year. It's a very special holiday. That's, which is New Year. It's a very popular holiday. A lot of people that engage in witchcraft or Wicca or Druidry will engage in this holiday in all sorts of ways. We'll go into depth into that later on in the video. And we will talk about what the thinning of the veil means. What exactly does that mean? Thinning the veil. What does that mean? And we'll talk about why that's important and why we think that that's happening now. And then and even why your intuition, mediumship, any kind of divination you might do is probably stronger right now. So if you're feeling called to something, you should definitely follow that right now, especially follow any gut feelings. For most of us, now is a good time to listen to that. I mean, there could be some exceptions depending on your astrology chart, but for the most part, most people are probably going to be good to engage in those sorts of things as right now, during the Samhain celebration, which mostly starts to slowly amp up from the autumn equinox, also known as Mabon. As we get into October, it slowly amps up a little bit as we go, and then it sort of peaks October 31st, November 1st, and stays pretty strong during that time. And then we'll kind of dim back down as we move towards Yule. And understanding that, we'll go into that a little bit deeper later in the video. And we'll also be going over in this video, how to engage different methods of divination to engage in, and how those methods of divination will be helping you, and sort of how to interpret those messages and what means what, and how to tell if you're getting something. Did you ever feel like you weren't getting something? You're just not sure, and did I make that up, and all kinds of things like that. We'll address all of that a little bit later in the video. And that this is I have specific methods on how to increase your confidence when you're doing readings. And so we'll definitely be going through that later on in the video, as well as I will be addressing that during Mystic Academy's this month's live Zoom teaching. At Mystic Academy, if you're a member, you know that you also get a practice group, or a teaching practice group, where we all meet on Zoom and learn to do something. And that is one of the things that I'll be teaching, is about increasing confidence and how do we do that, and also how to increase your accuracy. Those two things we'll be really focusing on during the practice group, and later on in this video I'll be giving some specific instructions on how to tap into that. And also I want to point out that this is a great time to learn to connect with your spirit guides, because your spirit guides are really what helps bring through the messages. And we'll get deeper into that later in the video. And we do have a meditation this month for all members of Mystics Academy that will take you deep and show you exactly how to connect to your loved ones on the other side. And I think next month we're going to also do spirit guides directly. That will be the meditations that we focus on, and how to read those messages and how to interpret those messages. and sort of how to put that all together, right? And how to engage in energetic and spiritual development in a really practical way. All right, let's dive in.